Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Stock Market Show. This is your host, Shades, RGTI stock, sitting at 1342 on the day. We did get the crossover, and guess what? We did jump in at open. And as you can see here, at open, it pumped from 1386 to 1620. So what do you think happened in the Discord? You want to know what happened in the Discord? Let me show you, because you know I'm transparent. So we waited all this time for the crossover. It finally happened. And guess what? Remember what I told you. The crossover means money. It means there's buyers on our side, which is what we want. We don't want to be fighting sellers as buyers. We want buyers on our side so that it pumps, so we get that volume, so we get this push, and that's what we got today on that crossover that happened. So as you can see here, let's go back to the beginning here. Oh, here it is. Here. So where is it? Okay, you know what you've taught me, Shades. I'm not going to get greedy. I'm going to take profit, wait for the next play. Rigetti, he bought it and sold it for a healthy, because it's volatile, right? It jumped up like $3. He sold it for a healthy 100 and I assume 100 and somewhere between 160 and 140 is what it looks like. I don't know if he showed. Yeah. So he sold it off, took profit. He wasn't greedy. He was like, you know what? And he sold it at 1570. So look. He took advantage of the MACD crossover. It pumped, and he took profit near the top, which he wasn't greedy. He was like, you know what? I'm up $150. He only has like 2K in his account. It's a small account that he has. He doesn't have the kind of money that I or some people in the Discord have. So he's growing his account. He's succeeding. He's learned from his mistakes of, just chasing stocks blindly without exit strategy, without a stop loss strategy, without a entry strategy. The entry strategy is the MACD crossover. You jump in, you ride that wave, you got that buyers on your side, and you take your 100, 150. The bigger your account, obviously, the more you would have made. You would have made like $1,050 if you had $20,000 to play with. So it just scales up the more you have. But he made his 150, and he's like, hey, honestly, still got to get my mindset right. But if it goes up $18 today, honestly, I'm not mad. And it didn't go to 18. It had to break 16 and hold above it to go higher. Not being greedy is probably the hardest thing to learn. That's true. I don't have fear of missing out anymore. It's even harder to learn when you're higher than a kite, because he likes to get high. And he sometimes FOMOs into dumb stocks. So yeah. Oh, and this girl here, Crystal, is now the time to sell RGTI. So she's inexperienced. She doesn't know when to sell because she doesn't have a selling strategy. So she's like, hey, can you guide me? And I'm like, I'll guide you. I mean, we got buyers on our side on that daily crossover. We waited all this time. We waited since, when did this top out? January 6th, we waited, 18 days for our signal. We jumped in, we rode it up, we took our profits near the top, and it came down. We don't care. We already made our money. This is how you achieve a 100% win rate. You take a small loss if it doesn't work out. And that's it. You make your money. This is why it works. Because we're patient, we're disciplined. We'll wait a month for the signal. But when it happens, we got buyers on our side. And we make our money. And I know some people are saying, oh, well, you missed out on this move from 5 to 15. I don't care. My goal isn't to make a lot of money fast. That's usually the mindset of someone that's poor. There's a lot of people in my Discord who are A, Gen X, B, they have like over 500,000. And you know how they got to 500,000 plus? Because these are people that are like 50 to 60. You know how they got there? Discipline and patience. They're willing to buy a stock, hold it for months to get that big 20x, 10x. They don't care about these little flips. They don't care about a pathetic 30 to 60%. That's how they got to where they are. This is just something I've noticed with all the older people with money. And the ones that have a small account, they're the ones that are a little more desperate. They have this mindset of, oh my God, I'm going to miss out on 50%. These people don't care about that. They got to 500K plus. They got to 6 figures. They got to 7 figures because they buy and hold for a long swing to capture big profits. Why do you think I'm waiting for this to come down? If you have the patience and discipline, you will buy cheap again. It'll pump huge and we'll make our 10x, 20x. This like color stock, if you watch my color stock, whatever you want to call it, this stock has a very abusable pattern. It likes to pump, it dumps, bottoms out, and then it pumps again. Rinse and repeat. Oh, look, it bottoms out, goes sideways here between 90 and 119. Huge pump. You get a nice, 2, 3, 4x, and it comes right back down. Let's look. Oh my God! It's almost like it's a reflection of human behavior. It's almost like it's psychology here. They push it up real big, comes right back down, retraces the majority of its move. So that's what I mean. This has a very abusable pattern. If a stock shows a very abusable pattern, then all you have to do is wait. I just showed you. It always pumps and it dumps huge. All that buying pressure comes back as selling pressure. This should come down, and I'll be looking to buy at around. I'll see. Let me look at Nvidia, because I like to buy when Nvidia is showing strength. Like Nvidia is showing weakness today. I always keep an eye on Nvidia. If Nvidia is struggling, you better believe everything else is going to come down. So, big red bar. We're probably going to come back to this support, this weighted moving average. So we're going to probably buy some here. And I would wait for Nvidia to start showing signs of buyers stepping in and a bounce. And that way we have strength on our side from Nvidia. That's what you want. You want strength on your side from the markets. You don't want to be fighting the market selling pressure, because you're also fighting the big boys selling that are causing this to dump. So Nvidia, until that starts recovering, I wouldn't buy just yet. If Nvidia bottoms out again at 130-ish, then that would be my buy signal to get in on Rigetti at around probably 9 to 10. Or maybe if Nvidia comes down lower, then we're going to see the Nvidia. Yeah, we're going to see Rigetti struggle and come down to 6. You guys think I'm kidding, but if Nvidia's struggling, that usually means the market as a whole is coming down. You can even look at Tesla. Like, this looks ready to come back down to its support at 381. That's why we're red. Nvidia is a very good gauge. This is something you should write down. It's a very good gauge as to whether you should buy other stocks, because you don't want to be fighting the selling pressure that comes from the markets as a whole. Like, these are barely. This looks all green, like, right? This is all green, but when you actually look inside, like, this is green, but technically it's actually a red candle and a lot of selling pressure, right? So even though it looks all green here, a lot of it is kind of weak. It's weak movement, with a lot of selling pressure still pushing it down despite being barely green. So, have you ever thought about the fact that there's such a thing as a fake crossover? So it fakes you out. Today technically was a fake out. Look, it crossed over, teased it pumped, then it came right back down. People took their profits on the strategy anyways, because we got buyers on our side, but still sellers pushed it down. This is a sign of weakness, and now it's going sideways. So it was a fake out, but you still made money because we still had buyers on our side, right? But I want you to think about what I'm going to say. This was a fake out, and that marked the top, right? Think about that for a second. This was a fake out. We still took advantage of the crossover happening, despite it turning out to be a fake out. And we took advantage of the momentum and all that on our side. We made our money, right? This fake crossover, it's kind of like it marked the top, right? So flip that on the other side. If we get a cross under and it's fake, wouldn't that mean it's an entry point, right? So this is a little more advanced, but you can also use the fake cross under on the MACD as an entry strategy. But that's a little more advanced. So that's just another thing, I just want to, point out, like, you got to flip things on its head and start seeing things differently. So if we ever get a fake cross under, I'll call it out and be like, wait guys, this is a fake cross under. This is the bottom. Because again, I just showed you, if we get a fake crossover and this is looking very like a top, like especially with Nvidia dumping the way it is. So just wait, be patient. If you're in the Discord, you made your money. You made your $100 or whatever, because it pumped that's a good move from 13 to 16. And these guys in my Discord, they sold near the top. So they're learning. Like they're on their way to being 100% win rate traders, or at least very high win rate. All right, guys. Hopefully you walked away learning a thing or two. I stick to my systems. They make me money. They make other people money when they follow it, as they did today. And I just showed you. People are excited. They're like, wow, I'm learning. I really Like, why wouldn't I just follow a system that gets me a 90% plus win rate, if not 100%? I wouldn't expect someone that's a beginner to get a 100% win rate following the system. I think they would take a loss here and there because they would become undisciplined at some point and make a mistake. It's my system. I know it like the back of my hand. I can recognize fake outs. I can recognize when it's time to, walk away from the poker table, right? And when to get in. Like today, I got into Soundhound in anticipation of the crossover, and I took my profit. I woke up late. I couldn't get into RGTI. I probably should have bought in anticipation of the crossover as well. I thought about it, but I was like, RGTI or Soundhound? I'll take Soundhound. But RGTI is more volatile, so I could have made actually more if I had jumped into RGTI. But hey, I had to pick between one or the other. I was like, I'll just go with Soundhound. Alright guys, that's it for the video. I will see you in the next one.